Hey guys, welcome back. It's grimreaper coming at you for another video for Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourself and on a positive start to the week wherever you are in the world. We're back on my account today, and we're going to be doing a champion showcase on a champion I should have really done a long time ago. But Leo is kind of similar to this champion, so I wanted to do the champion today. Alright, and I guess a lot of people don't give him credit for now. Yesterday, he did make my top 10 most wanted champions I don't have outside Mythicals. So go and check it out. Video out if you want to go see what my top 10 are, what my wish list is from Raidshadowlegends. And he's going to be a Dwarf Void champion. And obviously, we're talking about the one and only Acon. My apologies for that. Dyslexia is it's similar to Acon, I guess. He's basically the king of dwarves. His art looks very good, and he's a very solid champion across the board, a bit underrated, and he's mainly focused as a go second champion. Now there's a few ways of building this guy, I will not deny that, but in today's video we're going to cover him in a build where it'll be a bit different, but I feel like it's his best build in my opinion, and each content creator obviously has that ability. Obviously he's really good because of his passive, which is actually stronger than Leo's, who we already would have got, because for example, prevent this champion's death and keep him at 1 HP, and then he gets the stone skin when the fatal hit, blah blah. A really cool ability. Obviously with Leo you can still go ahead and kill him, and even with the fatal with a flater bow, so it doesn't, the Leo's passive doesn't stop a fatal blow. It only saves him from a certain amount of HP, and then it'll trigger the stone skin. His passive is a lot stronger, and he is definitely a champion that I would really like to get. As you can see from across the board, the base stats are really good as well. This guy is going to be obviously be S tier in Curse City, hard faction wars as well, because how hard he hits. There's definitely other areas where he's really good, but arena is generally his main spot. So in today's video we're going to build him a few ways. I've got the optimizer up here ready to go, and we're going to build him together. That is my camera. We're going to build him together, right? So we'll go over his masteries and whatnot towards the end, and we just wanted to focus on this. So how are we spelling him? ARN whatsoever. So yeah, cool. With him we want to make sure that we're going to reset this, but we want to be clicking on damage build. We do want a very good speed, so today's video we're going to aim for 250. There is a few ways we'll speak about building him, but that's the main way. And then on the optimizer for slots, this is when you'll be looking at your ascension for Phantom Shogun and Sun Devil, which will help predict the stats that you want as the most highest damage build. So this is quite important to do if this is a champion who you want him to be used consistently. So for example, the boots can be speed and attack and whatnot, as long as he meets the attack stats. The boots, the gloves, you can go attack and critical damage. For today I'm going to go attack, and then top row will be attack as well. We want him to have much damage as possible to come through. And then for glyphs, we would do whatever glyphs you guys have access to, depending if you're early game, mid game, end game. For me, for Nukas, I think maximum 5 speed is enough. Today's video we would select 4, and then we're going to come in with this. Now on Edwin's account we will be doing all of this from his fresh gear, so we don't actually need to do all this. I just want to make sure that you guys are basically putting this in correctly as well. Now there's a few ways of building this champion. First of all, if you wanted to build him, the first way you can build him is a 9-piece merciless. 9-piece merciless is very strong build on him, and some people would say it's the strongest. I'm not going to say it's the strongest, but 9-piece merciless is definitely a very viable build because of his passive. Will put the stone skin on him, and we'll talk about his masteries to make his passive a bit more effective. A second way of building him, so the third way would be obviously 9-piece merciless or 6-piece. The second way for me would be stone skin and ignore defense set. Yes, he has the stone skin on the passive, but if you can make him last longer, champions like Maris, etc., can be a big counter to him. A lot of mythicals as well are counters to him. But outside that, he's still a very good champion. So I think this is his second best build. Obviously, Savage can be lethal or instinct, depending on what you have there. And then I think for me, the final build for myself is going to be Ferald. Now, why Ferald? Well, bombs are a big counter to him. His bombs ignore his passive. Now, if you're going to use Ferald, you're going to use 4-piece Ferald, lethal, savage, or instinct with them. And if you're going to use Ferald, you need to have lightning cage to protect him, to stop him being stripped. And obviously, he can still be locked out, but his passive resets a lockout. And another factor as well is a polymorph from Armant or Songwong, the sheep ability. And then what you do with that is you're going to go with one of submissive to really give them a chance to reflect it back, or you can go hand creation, which will give you a debuff and give you a small chance to resist it. There are the options. There is also other relics and whatnot that you can use with different types of builds that will make him stronger as well. And I think depending on the situation and how you want to build him, but for me would be a Feral build. There's not many champions that you can build in Ferald. Maris is a problem for him if you put him in Ferald or whatnot, to be honest. But he's a very strong champion. So bombs are a big issue. So today, in today's video, we're going to be showcasing him in the Ferald. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Get a build on him and whatnot. We're going to make sure that we've got no faction war stuff to inflate our stats for arena. And then we'll see what build we can attain for him. Now you want to be making sure that you have basically rolled up all the Ferald. I don't know if Edwin's Ferald is up to date, so we'll check this quite quickly to make sure that all the build is correct. And basically we're not wasting any stuff on him. I'm actually will be building him for Edwin mainly for his arena, because we are doing arena takeover today, and we'll be doing some other bits and bobs as well on his account. So you can see here it's got critical damage there, and not really a strong banner because we're looking for attack banner, but there is some options there. So for the stats right now, we're coming in with critical damage of 267, which is quite reasonable. Speed of 231 and attack coming in at 7,500. Obviously he's missing the level 4 blessing, which is going to increase his critical damage by quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and steal this gear for today's video. And again, I'll build them offline. So you can see here we're coming in one submissive with the 2 gemstones to deal more damage, because we ideally want to go up against enemies that have full HP. There is better gemstones out there, but that's what we've got to work with for today. Let me go find some fights then, and we're going to go and take them on head to head. So this guy is a speed counter, and we're going to throw him in on his own for right now. And we are going to come up with this. Now, it's a very strong build, and we obviously are facing a team. This team is not strong. I just want to show you what this guy can do on his own. Generally just on his own. You'll see here we'll flip, we'll try to get a strip or whatnot. We want Heferak to try and basically kill me. And we'll come in and nuke the whole team. Now, don't get me wrong, this team is not amazing, but I did want just to showcase the numbers that this guy can do, and if built correctly, how fun he can be. He's definitely a very strong champion. And Leo is a very strong champion, but this guy he's on the next level. So I need to try and find some decent teams. I think I'm gonna push up in the arena a little bit. I think we might have some fun against this Trunda because Trunda gets a damage increase versus the stone skin, right? And whatnot. So it's quite fun to go against that. There you are. You can see the stone skin's on for 2 turns. We ignore all shields and increase defense. It's gone down again. Funny enough, the Torment actually was able to kill me, which is quite amusing. But you can see what this guy can do for sure. So we're going to go now find some go second teams, or I'm going to build a go second team and see what we can do with him. This account doesn't have many go second champions, but we'll try our best. Okay, so we found a fairly good, strong team here. How low down we are in the arena. We're bringing in Tio. Tio's in like a fairly good go second build. Queen of Hearts and Catrixia. That is basically all the go second champions I could basically find on their account that can be used in a different type of strategy, I guess, which is quite fun to use them in. So another reason why you can see that we got Ferald is Gizmak is going to be countered here, so he's going to do significantly less damage. We have some bits and bobs as well, like we've got other champions in Ferald and stuff like that as well, which is quite strong. Obviously, lockouts will really help, and other strong supports with the dwarf is going to be really useful. So first of all, we want to use the Queen of Hearts ally attack versus the Nice and try and get rid of the Nice really early. We will be able to bring in a increased attack as well, so he's just been deleted from that. We want to come in with the big ability here, so we're going to attack all enemies and stuff. We're going to try and basically break the stone skin. He's got some really crazy damage, but we could just do with a bit more there. So you can see here with the Gizmak, we're still being able to keep ourselves alive. His passive has gone off and we've done some damage. Obviously, he's not going to be able to hurt us too much. And then obviously we can put up our Inkillable as well. We can go ahead and reset all the champions, which is going to be super strong. Don't get me wrong, all these mythicals, all these champions are really strong. Not all of them mythicals, but they all are strong champions, which just make him even stronger if you showcase him the correct way, right? So we'll go ahead, get rid of that. We're going to get extra turn because it grants extra turn if this kills enemy. And we're going to come in for that. Now we don't have to worry about affinity too much. And with Overgo second champions, he can do a job for sure. So that's really strong. Basically, it's nice just to didn't get a turn and whatnot. We have another Nice here as well. He's not a bad champion versus Nice. If the Nice is built properly in a proper team, he won't last very long. I won't deny that. But Nice is pretty much the best P vs P champion in the game. So I don't think he should be able to do that type of stuff really. Again, I didn't actually see the epic in here, Man Series. That's my bad. Okay, so we've got the increased attack to worry about. Let me try and go for that. This will attack one enemy 2 times. So let me see. We've got decreased attack on me. So that means we do considerably less damage. We do get the block revive, which is pretty sweet. We didn't have a fatal hit though, so his passive hasn't procced yet. So we're going to do day 1. We should receive, no, okay. So we can go ahead and cleanse. Obviously the wand didn't work on him there, which kind of sucks. Let's try and take out him. So we've got the block revive on him. Got enough buff so we can cut in. You can see he has a really strong synergy with Queen of Hearts. Obviously increased attack really helps as well. And then it's game over really. 151 on that ability. And then a nice little chunk of damage there as well. Okay, let's try. None of these champions are really great. Georgie can be a issue for him, so this is going to be kind of fun as well. So let's see what we can do here as well. Georgie can ignore Stone Skin, but his passive will still trigger versus Georgie because of how it works. We're being able to cut in, so he's not actually speed tuned very well. I would love to get a champion. Honestly, I would really, really love to get him. And then we should be able to one-shot there. Everyone else has pretty much gone down. Should be game over, really. Shouldn't really have a chance to do anything right now. I think he wandered it there. Okay. The Veils as well really help him be not being targeted by CC and stuff like that as well. And then, yeah, he's going to go ahead and do that really, really comfortably. And whatnot. So let me see if we can find any more useful teams as we're way down here. Okay, so there is a bomb champion here that we're going to go up against. We're going to drop her because she would be a cheat code. And let me just go in with 2 champions versus this. So the whole point is we're able to counter the bombs. He just steal the debuffs from me, which sucks. Because again, bombs ignore the passive. So we lost the Ferald because of Lady Gimme. We can come in. So hoping for a bit more damage there. But again, we can strip. Again, cycle through our abilities really strongly. And then we can come in, we can kill here because we'll get extra turn. She's revived already, so let's go for her. It would be the Anuka. She does have the Unkillable on her, which would be a Perry proc. And whatnot. There's could be the passive, which is going to really help. Double Swift Parry, you like to see that. And then we can come up and clean afterwards because we're going to get the increased attack there. And then he's going to take a turn as well again. Again, just a fantastic, strong duo between these two. They really are, if built correctly, a menace to deal with. Rhodas is a problem for him. But again, if the champions are built correctly, we can deal with them. So we want to use champions that won't. I guess we could go something like this, right? So Shizan can come in with the instant turn, see what we can do, and then Trixia could come in as just, I guess, as a reset champion. So this would be classed as a speed team, all right? Let's see how he can perform with like champions like Shazan and whatnot. So obviously there's no Stone Skin here. Don't have to worry about Rhodas because if Rhodas attacks him, he's going to be able to save himself with a fatal hit. There we are. And then we can come in, do the damage, And then we can do the ally attack into Duchess and say night night and have a good sleep. So maybe not the most strongest team in the world, but you can see that the damage is really, really strong and whatnot. My daughter just maybe jumped by playing with a door and stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and see all the builds and stuff like that. Okay then, so here we are with this, and this is his build. Obviously you would have saw that when we built it. So let's talk about masteries, and his masteries are very, very important, and let's try and explain and what masteries we're taking. So we'll start with Exile Death. A bit like what I've said with Leo, is we want our passive to really kick in as much as possible, keep him alive as long as possible. So every time he heals his champion of 10% of the max HP when the enemy is killed each round. First time a enemy is killed each round. So it doesn't actually have to be him that kills the enemy, it could be anyone. And he's going to get a nice little heal there, which is great, but it's going to be based by his heals, so it won't be a massive heal. Rapid response is going to be quite useful. He's going to get stone skin, a bit more turn meter, is not too bad. And then cycle of magic, ideally, just to give him a very, very small chance to cycle his abilities. And then we have lasting gifts. Lasting gifts is probably the most important mastery out of his whole kit, because of that option of being able to extend that stone skin from 1 turn to 2 turns, which is quite good. Obviously we've got critical rate, we've got shield breaker, which actually I don't think is a good mastery on him, if I'm being honest, because I'm pretty sure. Okay, so it's only the A3 that ignores shields. A1 and A2 doesn't. So yeah, that's why I did take that. I was thinking why we take shield breaker. Then we have Life Drinker, which again is to give him a bit of heal for his passive ability, and that's what we want to see. Cycle of Violence, because on how much damage he can do, he has a really good opportunity of progness, and it's going to prog way more in arena than a Cycle of Magic. I've actually gone with Blood Shield. Places a shield buff on a champion when this champion kills an enemy, except from boss minions and whatnot. So a little shield just to keep him alive a little bit longer is going to be quite nice, especially if the passive hasn't kicked off. You never know, that could be a difference between a win or lose. So for me, that's just going to be really, really cool to see. And then everything else is basically to pump in as much damage as possible. And then again, for Blessing, for me, there's only two I would really take on him, or 3 I would consider taking in. Lightning Cage, if you're going to use Stone Skin, or if you're going to use Ferald. And that is a must with Ferald. Otherwise, it'll just get stripped off and it'll be no good. A second one could be Soul Reap. I think Soul Reap is a very strong one against champions who might have like quirky passives like Nice and whatnot. So this could be an interesting one as well. Rhodas as well could be a option for Soul Reap. So there's definitely a few niche champions. And I think if you're just going to go like 9-piece Merciless, I would go with Life Harvest. I think Life Harvest, especially at 5-star, 6-star, destroying that max HP and giving a massive turn meter boost. A 5-star is 20%, and then for 6-star is a massive turn meter boost of 30. It's really strong against like revivers like Star Sage and whatnot. Just give them extra massive turn meter boost so he can overlap and then take him back down again. He has got AoE on E3, which again is super, super strong. For me, there isn't really any other Blessing I would consider here, if I'm being honest. Polymorph is just like rolling a dice and then going, okay, if I get 2, I get sheeped. If I get 1, they get sheeped. And that's just not what I like to play with. Again, for me, the Relic would be one of Submissive, which is probably the most accessible relic on most occasions. You could go Necrosis, you could go... There is like a ton of relics that you can honestly take in comparison to this, if I'm being honest. So it's really up to you guys on that. But for me, outside of mythicals, I think this is the strongest for sure. And then again, I think for me, the Ferald is pretty much the strongest build for him as well. Anyway, guys, that is it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And as usual, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Grim, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.